This is the tale of Little Red Riding Hood. Once there was a little girl who had a lovely red coat with a red hood. People called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day her mother said, "Granny is ill and she is in bed. Why don't you go and see her? In the basket there is a bottle of fresh milk, some bread and some butter for her." Little Red Riding Hood immediately set out for her grandmother's house. "Stay on the path and don't talk to strangers," warned Mother. Little Red Riding Hood reached the woods and saw some beautiful flowers. She wandered off the path to pick some for her granny. As soon as she left the path, she met a hungry wolf. "Where are you going?" said the wolf. "To see my grandmother," said innocent Little Red Riding Hood. "She's sick. I have some milk, bread and butter for her." "Where does your granny live?" the wolf asked. "Further along the path," replied Little Red Riding Hood, "in a little cottage." While she was picking up some more flowers, the wolf ran to grandmother's house. The wolf hurried up and got into grandma's bed to wait for Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood got to grandmother's house. She went tap, tap, tap on the door. "Who is this?" asked the wolf. "It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I have some milk, bread and butter for you, and some flowers." "Open the door and come in, my dear," said the wolf. Little Red Riding Hood was surprised to see Grandma tucked up in bed with the curtains closed, and she looked so different. "Granny, what big ears you have," she said. "All the better to hear you with," said the wolf. "Granny, what big eyes you have," she said. "All the better to see you with," said the wolf. "Granny, what a big nose you have," she said. "All the better to smell you with," said the wolf. "Granny, what a big mouth you have," she said. "All the better to eat you with," snarled the wolf, leaping out of bed. "Help! Help!" Little Red Riding Hood cried. It wasn't Grandma at all. It was the big bad wolf, and he wanted to gobble her up. The horrible wolf chased her round and round the cottage. "Help! Help!" shouted Little Red Riding Hood. Luckily, a woodcutter heard her calling and ran to see what all the noise was about. He spotted the wolf inside Grandma's house and raised his axe. The wolf took one look and jumped out of the window. "Thank you," said Little Red Riding Hood. "You saved my life." "You must never ever talk to wolves," said the woodcutter. "What is that knocking?" Little Red Riding Hood rushed to open the wardrobe from where the sound was coming and found Grandma safe and well there. The wolf had shut her inside. "Goodness, thank you," Granny said to Little Red Riding Hood and gave her a big hug. Little Red Riding Hood put the kettle on, and they all had bread and butter and a nice cup of cocoa. And Little Red Riding Hood never strayed off the path in the woods again.